Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, and I'm so happy you're here today because we are going to talk about something that many English learners struggle with: how to talk to anyone in English. Have you ever felt nervous starting a conversation in English, even though you know the words and understand what the other person is saying? You're not alone. This happens to millions of English learners around the world. Today, we're going to explore how to get comfortable talking to anyone in English, whether it's a stranger on the street, a friend, a colleague, or someone at a coffee shop. We'll talk about mindset, vocabulary, confidence, tone, and most importantly, practice. So stay with me, and let's take this journey together, step by step. The first thing you need to know is that English is not about perfection, it's about connection. Most native speakers are not expecting perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation. What they want is to understand you and to be understood. So, remove that pressure from yourself. Your English doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. When you talk to someone in English, think more about being clear and confident rather than being grammatically correct. Of course, grammar is important, but in conversations, the goal is flow and connection. Let's begin with greetings, the most basic and universal way to start a conversation. When you meet someone new, you can simply say, "Hi, how are you?" or "Hello, nice to meet you." These are short, but polite ways to begin. You can also say, "Hey, what's up?" or "How's it going?" which are more casual. And when someone responds, you don't have to panic. If they say, "I'm good, how about you?" you can reply with, "I'm doing well, thanks." This kind of exchange may seem simple, but it creates comfort and builds the start of a conversation. Now, let's practice this through a short example. Imagine you are meeting someone at a social event. You walk up and say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. How are you doing today?" The person replies, "Hey Sarah, I'm doing great, thanks. How about you?" You say, "I'm doing well too. It's nice to meet you." Simple, right? This kind of dialogue is what you can use anywhere, at a party, in a meeting, even at the grocery store. Try practicing this aloud with your own name and your own voice. Say it slowly, then naturally, and imagine the response. The next important thing is asking questions. If you want to keep a conversation going, ask questions that are open-ended. That means questions that cannot be answered with just yes or no. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like coffee?" you can say, "What kind of coffee do you like?" Instead of, "Are you from here?" say, "Where are you from originally?" These questions invite the other person to talk more, and that gives you more chances to listen and respond. Here's another practice scene for you. Imagine you are sitting next to someone on a train. You look over and say, "Hi, is this your first time taking this route?" The person smiles and replies, "No, I take this train every day." Then you say, "Oh, really? Do you work nearby?" That's a conversation starter. And even if the person says something short, you can still find ways to keep the flow going by showing interest and responding with something like, "That sounds interesting. What do you do exactly?" Keep the conversation going like a tennis match. One person talks, the other responds, and throws the ball back. A common fear is not knowing what to say next. Don't worry about that. One simple strategy is to repeat or paraphrase what the other person says. If someone tells you they like traveling, you can say, "Oh, you like traveling? Where have you been recently? This shows you are listening and also invites more conversation. Repeating is a great way to buy time and also keep the dialogue alive. Practice this skill too. Try it out loud. Imagine someone says, I love reading books. You repeat, You love reading books? That's great. What's your favorite genre? Now let's talk about the power of small talk. Small talk is the short, polite conversation we have about things like the weather, traffic, sports, or the weekend. It might feel unimportant, but it's actually a very important way to connect with people. It's a way to warm up before a deeper conversation. You might say, The weather is really nice today, isn't it? Or, This line is moving slowly. These kinds of comments are great ways to break the silence and open the door for more talking. To practice this, think about something small you could say in different situations. At the supermarket, you could say to the person next to you, These apples look really fresh today. At a coffee shop, you might say, They always play nice music here, don't they? It's not about deep ideas. It's about starting. Think of small talk like the key that unlocks the door to bigger conversations. It may feel awkward at first, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Another powerful tool for talking to anyone in English is learning how to give compliments. Compliments make people feel appreciated and can be a great way to start or continue a conversation. You don't need to say anything too deep. Simple compliments work best. For example, you can say, I like your shoes, or That's a nice bag, or You have a great smile. These little phrases show kindness and interest. When you compliment someone, they often reply with a smile and maybe even start talking to you more. Compliments create a friendly space and help people feel good around you. Here's a quick practice exercise. Imagine you're in a bookstore and someone next to you is holding a book you like. You say, That's a great book. I read it last year and couldn't put it down. That's a compliment, and also a way to start a conversation about reading. You can follow up with, Do you like reading fiction or nonfiction? One sentence can open the door to a 5-minute talk. Try it in front of a mirror. Practice complimenting imaginary people around you, at the park, in a queue, in class. Say things like, I like your jacket, or That's a cool phone case. When you talk to people in English, one key skill you need is listening. Talking is not just about speaking. It's about paying attention to what the other person says and responding in a way that shows you care. This means not just waiting for your turn to talk, but really hearing what they're saying. If someone says, I had a long day at work, a good reply is not just, Oh, but something like, That sounds exhausting. What happened? This kind of listening builds trust and helps you connect more deeply. Let's do a short listening-based practice now. Imagine someone says, I just got back from a vacation in Turkey. Your response could be, That sounds exciting. What was your favorite part of the trip? This shows interest and keeps the conversation going. You could even follow with, I've always wanted to go there. Did you visit any historical places? By using the information the person gives you, you create more talking opportunities. Listening is like collecting little clues, and your responses are built from them. Another great method to make English conversations easier is using transition phrases. These are phrases that help you move from one topic to another. For example, By the way, speaking of that, actually, or That reminds me. These help you shift the conversation without making it feel strange. You could be talking about coffee and then say, "By the way, have you tried the new cafe downtown?" Or someone mentions work, and you say, "Speaking of work, how's your team handling the new project?" These small expressions help the conversation flow smoothly. Let's look at a practice paragraph using transitions. You're talking to a friend and you say, "I love weekends. It's the only time I can sleep in." Then you continue, "By the way, do you have any plans for Saturday?" And later you add, "That reminds me, I need to buy a birthday gift for my cousin." These connecting phrases make your English sound natural and help keep the talk going without awkward silence. Sometimes people worry about making mistakes during conversations, but here's the truth. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Don't be afraid of saying something wrong. If you forget a word, pause and describe it. For example, if you can't remember the word umbrella, you can say, "That thing we use when it rains." Most people will understand. It's more important to keep the conversation alive than to freeze. If you say something incorrectly, just smile and say, "Sorry, I meant to say," and fix it. People appreciate the effort. Here's an exercise to help you get comfortable with making mistakes. Choose a topic, like ordering food at a restaurant, and try speaking aloud without stopping. Even if you forget a word or make a grammar mistake, keep talking. Say something like, "Can I have, the thing with chicken? Oh yes, grilled chicken sandwich." The goal is not perfection. The goal is fluency and courage. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to speak freely without fear. Another helpful idea is to prepare small conversation scripts in your head. These are short phrases or questions you can use anytime. For example, if you're meeting someone new, you can memorize, "Hi, I'm new here. What's your name?" Or, "Have you been here before?" Having these ready will reduce your hesitation. You don't need to memorize long speeches, just little phrases for common situations. Over time, your brain will automatically offer them when you need them. Let's do a speaking practice now. Imagine you are going to a new class. You sit next to someone and say, "Hi, I'm Alex. Is this your first time taking this class too?" They reply, "No, I've taken it before." Then you say, "Great. Do you like the teacher?" This is a natural, friendly way to start talking. Practice this scene with your name and use your own situation. Say it out loud several times. It will help build your comfort and fluency. Let's now talk about body language. Body language plays an important role when you talk to someone in English or any language. A friendly smile, relaxed shoulders, eye contact, and an open posture can say a lot. Even if your words are simple, your body can show that you're confident and interested. Sometimes, body language speaks louder than words. If you look away, cross your arms, or keep checking your phone, the other person may feel like you're not interested in talking. But if you lean in a little, smile, and nod while the other person is speaking, they will feel more encouraged to continue the conversation. You can try this in front of a mirror. Practice saying, "Hi, how are you?" while looking at yourself with a smile. Then try saying it again with no expression. Notice the difference? Your energy matters. People respond to the way you make them feel. So even if your vocabulary is limited, your friendly energy can make people want to talk to you more. When you combine good body language with even basic English, your confidence will naturally grow. Let's talk about expressing opinions. Many conversations grow when people share their thoughts or feelings. Even if you're unsure about grammar, try to express your views using simple structures like I think, I feel, or in my opinion. For example, if someone says, I love going to the beach, you can reply with, I think beaches are very relaxing. Or, in my opinion, the mountains are even more peaceful. This shows you are engaged and willing to share. The more you practice expressing opinions, the easier it becomes to add your voice to any conversation. Here's a practice example. Imagine a friend says, I don't like cold weather. You respond, really? I actually enjoy winter. I think snow is beautiful. Even if your English is simple, you're expressing yourself clearly. You're giving your opinion politely, and that's what makes the exchange meaningful. Practice this now. Think of your favorite food, place, or hobby. Then speak aloud, starting with I think, and complete the sentence. Try 5 different examples, and do this regularly. Now, sometimes we talk to people we don't know well, strangers at the airport, in line at a coffee shop, or while waiting for a bus. These moments may feel awkward, but they're great opportunities to practice English. Keep it simple and polite. You can say things like, do you know what time it is? Or, is this seat taken? Or, this line is moving slowly, huh? If the person replies and seems open to talking, you can continue. But if they seem quiet, that's okay too. Not every person will be ready for a chat, and that's normal. Let's do a real-life style exercise. You're waiting for your train, and someone is next to you. You say, do you know if this train goes to Central Station? They reply, yes, it does. It stops there in 10 minutes. You say, thanks. I'm new here, so I wasn't sure. They respond, no problem. First time in the city? You answer, yes. It's a lot bigger than I expected. That short conversation helps you practice real English and shows how even small talk can grow. Next, let's talk about tone and pace. When you speak in English, try to use a friendly tone, not too fast, not too slow. If you speak too quickly, it can be hard to understand. If you speak too slowly, it may feel unnatural. So find a rhythm that feels calm and steady. Also, try to match your tone to the situation. In a friendly chat, sound warm and open. In a more serious setting, sound respectful and clear. The way you say your words matters as much as the words themselves. To practice your tone and pace, record yourself talking about something simple, like your morning routine. Then listen back. Does it sound too fast? Too slow? Do you sound friendly or nervous? Adjust and try again. Repeating this exercise often will help you sound more natural over time. You can also shadow English videos, listen and speak along with a native speaker to copy their rhythm, tone, and speed. Another way to talk to anyone in English is to be curious. Ask questions that invite people to share. People enjoy talking about themselves. So, if you're unsure what to say, just ask about the other person. You could say, what do you do? Or, what brings you here today? Or, have you always lived in this city? These are neutral, polite questions that people can answer easily. Curiosity shows that you care and want to connect. Here's a practice conversation. You meet someone at a seminar. You say, "Hi, I'm Anna. Is this your first time attending this event?" They reply, "Yes, it is." You continue, "Me too. I'm hoping to learn more about digital marketing. What about you?" This gives the other person a chance to share, and now you have a topic to continue discussing. Curiosity can help you make friends, practice English, and build real connections. Lastly, don't forget to breathe. When you feel nervous, your brain might freeze, and you'll forget words you already know. So before you speak, take a deep breath. It helps your brain relax. Smile. And then begin. Speaking a second language is a big achievement, and every time you try, you're getting better. Every mistake is a step forward. Be proud of your effort and keep going. Let's now talk about how to handle silence in a conversation. Sometimes we all experience those moments when the conversation slows down or even stops. That silence might feel awkward, especially when you're still building your English skills. But here's something important to remember. Silence is natural. It's okay to pause. You don't need to fill every second with words. In fact, a short pause can give you time to think, and it also allows the other person to speak. Many fluent speakers pause to collect their thoughts. So, if you forget a word or need a second to think, just smile, nod, or say something like, "Let me think for a second," and take your time. That short pause shows confidence, not weakness. Let's try a pause exercise. Pick any topic, like my favorite movie. Begin speaking aloud, and every time you feel nervous or unsure. Instead of stopping, just take a deep breath and say, "That's a good question," or "Let me see," then continue. This practice teaches your brain that pauses are okay, and that you don't have to panic when there's a moment of silence. With time, you'll find your words more quickly. Now let's discuss how stories help in conversation. People love stories. Stories create images in our minds, and they make our talks more interesting. Instead of giving short answers like, "Yes, I liked the movie," try turning your experience into a mini story. Say something like, "Yes, I watched that movie last weekend with my sister. We both really enjoyed it, especially the ending. It made us laugh so much." See how much more engaging that sounds? Stories are easy to remember, and they make the listener more interested in you. Let's practice creating a short story now. Think about something simple, like going to the grocery store. Don't just say, "I went shopping." Turn it into a story. "I went to the store on Sunday. It was really busy, and I couldn't find a parking spot. But I finally got everything I needed and even ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in years." Just a few extra details turn a regular event into a story worth sharing. Practice telling small stories every day. It will boost your confidence and help you become a natural communicator. Next, let's talk about confidence boosters. When you're learning English, confidence is your best friend. Even if your grammar isn't perfect or your vocabulary is limited, confidence can carry you through any conversation. How do you build that confidence? First, practice speaking every single day. You can talk to yourself in the mirror, speak with a friend, or record yourself and listen. Repetition creates confidence. Second, celebrate small wins. Did you start a conversation today? Great! Did you speak for 2 minutes without stopping? Wonderful! These small steps are progress. Keep reminding yourself that learning a language is a journey, and every effort counts. Here's a confidence-building routine you can follow each morning. First, say 3 positive sentences about your English. "I am improving my English every day." "I can talk to people." And "Mistakes help me learn." Then, read a short passage from a book or article aloud. Finally, look into a mirror and speak for 1 full minute about your day or your plans. This daily habit will grow your fluency and train your mind to think in English. Let's now explore the idea of thinking in English. If you want to talk to anyone in English easily, You need to train your brain to stop translating from your native language. Thinking in English helps you respond faster and sound more natural. At first, it may feel hard, but you can start with simple steps. Name the things around you in English: table, book, window, pen. Then, describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making tea. I'm opening the door. These small habits will help your brain stay in English mode. You can also practice internal conversations. For example, imagine you're walking to school or work, and you silently talk to yourself in English. Okay, I need to finish my project today. Or, I hope the weather stays nice. This silent practice is powerful. The more you think in English, the easier it becomes to speak it naturally. Challenge yourself to spend 5 minutes each day doing everything in English. Thoughts, descriptions, plans, all in your mind. Over time, this will help you speak without hesitation. Sometimes people ask, how do I end a conversation politely in English? This is important too. You can't talk forever, and sometimes you'll need to leave. You can say, "It was really nice talking to you." Or, "I've got to go now, but I hope we talk again soon." Other options include, "I really enjoyed our chat." Or, "Thanks for the conversation. Have a great day." Ending a conversation with warmth shows respect and leaves a good impression. Try this practice scene. You're talking to someone at a library and the conversation is ending. You say, "Well, I should get going. It was really nice meeting you." The person says, "You too. Take care." You reply, "Thanks, see you around." That's it. You've ended the conversation smoothly and politely. Practice this scene a few times aloud. Use different variations, and get comfortable closing conversations with grace. Let's also remember that humor can help conversations. You don't need to be a comedian, but a small laugh or a light joke can make people feel comfortable. Just keep it simple and kind. For example, if someone says, "I spilled coffee on my shirt," you can reply with a gentle laugh. "Coffee is dangerous. It always finds white shirts." This type of light humor builds connection. It shows you're relaxed and enjoying the conversation. Just be sure your jokes are friendly and not offensive. Try practicing light responses to common situations. Imagine someone says, "I forgot my umbrella and got soaked." You might say, "That's the rain's way of reminding us who's boss." These little comments make the conversation feel fun and help both speakers relax. Practice these types of responses out loud when you're alone. Over time, your confidence with natural humor will improve. Now let's talk briefly about accents. Many learners worry that their accent will make them hard to understand, but accents are natural. Everyone has an accent. What matters most is clarity. Focus on speaking slowly and clearly. Don't try to sound exactly like a native speaker. Be proud of your voice. As long as you are understandable, your accent is not a problem. In fact, many people find accents beautiful and interesting. What matters is that you're communicating. So don't let accent anxiety stop you from talking. To practice clarity, record yourself reading a short paragraph slowly and clearly. Listen and ask, "Did I pronounce the words clearly? Did I speak too fast?" Repeat this daily, and you will become more confident in your spoken English. Confidence and clarity matter more than perfection. And here's the most important message of all. Don't wait for perfect English to start speaking. Start now. Speak with your classmates, co-workers, friends, strangers, even yourself. Use every chance to practice. The more you speak, the faster you grow. Remember, fluency is built through action, not just studying. Talking to anyone in English is not about having a perfect vocabulary. It's about being brave, being kind, and being willing to connect. Every conversation is a new chance to improve. Don't be afraid of looking silly or making a mistake. People respect those who try, and the more you try, the easier it gets. Talk to the person at the store. Ask someone for directions. Chat with someone waiting in line. These small moments are your real-life practice sessions. Collect them, use them, learn from them, and always keep going. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope today's practice gave you more tools and more confidence to talk to anyone in English. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss an episode. We have so many more lessons and conversations to explore together. I'm Natasha, and I'll see you next time on English in Minutes. Keep speaking, keep growing, and always remember, your English voice matters.